Hello, my name is Vanessa Williams, and I am the Executive Director and CEO of the Conference of Black Mayors. However, today, I have the pleasure to be a part of this program as the founder and first president of the Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Committee. Dr. King once stated that the purpose of education is to teach young people how to think both critically and intensively. He also stated that it was important that we had both character and intelligence, that was the true essence of education. Well, I believe that through the leadership of the Martin Luther King Jr. Committee and through the thought and the love that this organization had to not just develop leaders, but to develop young people to come behind them. And you have such great young leaders, such as Cariana Turner in Atlanta, Georgia, who serves as the associate pastor for New Birth Baptist Church. Or then you go ahead and you have a young person, a young budding star like Neo, who began his process with his organization as singing as a part of his entrance interview. And you look at who he has arose to be today. And then you have a young man who went on our first college tour to a then Howard University, who decides to then go ahead and continue his education there. And now is someone who stands in line of films with Tyler Perry. I'm speaking of Lance Gross. And then you have our very own that are there in the Las Vegas community that chose to come home and to bring that brain that they have and intelligence that they learned from that HBCU. And I'm speaking of a Mr. Alex Dixon, who served as the first African American to be president of Circus Casino and Hotel. These young people are just a small example of the doctors, attorneys, civic leaders, politicians that were birthed out of this august organization. And then lastly, I speak of myself humbly. A young woman who came from Tumbleweed, 89106, and who was founded at Western High School because I wrote an article saying that I never had to run from a Ku Klux Klan, so I shouldn't have to run from a black man, in the height of the gang violence in the 1990s. And it was that young woman who was engrafted in this organization and surrounded by leaders within the Las Vegas community. Leaders such as Assemblyman Wendell P. Williams, Dolores Sawyer, and many others who said, I want to give this young lady an opportunity to not just shine in our community, but shine on a greater stage throughout this state. Well, that stage took me not only in the state of Nevada, but across waters. Out of the 54 countries on the continent of Africa, I now have gone and traveled to 38. I've worked for U.S. presidents, and in addition to that, I've had an opportunity to represent not only my community out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I carry Las Vegas with me everywhere that I go. So I want to say thank you to this organization, the wonderful organization that took the time to see something in this young woman that at the time I didn't see in myself. So as we celebrate this 40 years of the MLK Junior Parade, I have to say to each of you, congratulations, and we are so very blessed to be with you this afternoon.